Despite what the IWC might lead you to believe, WWE has been on an unprecedented upward trajectory over the last few years, and one of the biggest ways that the product has drastically improved is match quality. Even on weekly TV, like we just saw with Liv and Raquel versus Naomi and Bianca, that match felt like a PLE match, and it was on a completely free episode of Raw. Premium live events in general, and especially premium live event matches, have felt so much more high stakes and so much better than we've honestly become accustomed to over the last 10 years. Whether it comes down to fan engagement, really entertaining spots, really funny spots, storytelling, whatever it is, it seems like matches in general have really just grasped what the fans are really looking for when it comes to either a high stakes match or just a match that does what it's supposed to do. This is going to be more of a video for newer fans, as I'm sure that a lot of you that are watching this video might be a little bit more into WWE than the average person, but this video is a lot more catered towards people who are just recently getting into the product, especially in the wake of the Netflix premiere. So for my newer fans, I got you. This is 10 must-watch matches for new WWE fans. As a little side note, most of these matches can be found in my Fire Matches playlist. Now, I wanted to throw in a few honorable mentions from over the years because most of the matches in this list are going to be from around the last year. First up, I have The New Day versus the Usos at Hell in a Cell 2017 and a Hell in a Cell tag match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. One of my favorite kind of feud matches are the matches where you can really just feel the hatred between the two people, or in this case, the two teams. In 2017, the New Day and the Usos had, in my opinion, a very underrated feud leading into this show. Easily the craziest spot was this insane, like, STO backbreaker combination Big E and Xavier did to the outside of the ring. It was insanity. Next up, I have Sol Ruca versus Kalani Jordan at NXT TakeOver Heatwave 2024. Now, I will be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the crazy over-the-top acrobatics that these two clearly specialize in, but I have no problem saying that this is an objectively fantastic and impressive match. I mean, come on, look at this combination and tell me they're not some of the best and most talented women on this entire roster. And lastly, I have, yes, this is in honorable mentions, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40 Night 2. The main reason why this isn't on the list is because it's so obvious and every single YouTuber has made a video talking about this match to death. So, I mean, what am I going to say about this match that everybody else hasn't already said? It's literally the start of a new era in this company. It's the end of a 3-year-long title reign. It is Cody's biggest moment of his entire career, and it is pretty much WWE's version of Avengers Endgame. Alright, now enough with the honorable mentions. It's time for the actual video. At number 10, I have the 6-pack ladder match at WrestleMania 40 between The New Day, The Judgment Day, New Catch Republic, and Awesome Truth. This match seriously felt like a scene from Mad Max at a few times, with some of the most insane ladder spots I've ever seen. One of the best spots was easily when Tommaso Ciampa hit Tyler Bate with an air raid siren off the top of a ladder right on the mat. It's funny because I remember leading into this match, people were begging for these tag titles to be separated because the Judgment Day was holding both Raw and SmackDown tag titles at the same time. And they ended up having Austin Theory and Grayson Waller capture the SmackDown tag titles, and Awesome Truth ended the match by capturing the Raw tag team titles. And in my opinion, that was a genius and probably the perfect way to separate those titles anyways. Now, if you just want an insane, just balls to the wall tag match with some honestly death-defying spots, especially with JD McDonough towards the end, then this match is just for you. At number 9, I have Tiffany Stratton versus Bayley versus Naomi in a triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship at Backlash France 2024. You could tell that the afterglow of WrestleMania 40 was in full effect because WWE's usually B-tier pay-per-view Backlash stepped foot in hands down the best crowd in WWE history in Lyon, France. This match was so much fun, and it really did feel like a competitive neck-and-neck triple threat match with two veterans being Naomi and Bayley and the newcomer Tiffany Stratton. Another thing I really loved about this match is that it really did feel like a real triple threat match. Over the years, it seems like triple threat matches have boiled down to separate one-on-one matches throughout the triple threat match itself, which I have never really been a fan of. I always thought that triple threat matches should, throughout the entire match, be all three competitors trying to keep each other down for as long as possible. This match in particular saw all three competitors battling it out most of the time at the same time, with a really crafty and clever finish by Bayley, who ended up retaining her Women's World Championship. At number 7, I have Walter versus Ilya Dragunov for the NXT UK Championship at NXT TakeOver 36. If you want just one example of what Walter, now Gunther, is all about, then take a look at this match. Gunther's just pulverizing, take no prisoners in-ring style clashed with Ilya Dragunov's hard-hitting, just lust for pain in-ring style, pretty much just clashed together to create one of the most painful and brutal matches I have ever seen. This match is just a hard-hitting, just limit-testing marathon, with Gunther not holding back one bit and Ilya giving back the same punishment and then some. Just the vibe of this match just felt something like an underground fight club, with the fans behind the plexiglass, because of course this happened during the pandemic, and just a mix of that and the lighting, and it just made everything so much better. The match ended with Ilya locking Gunther in just a vicious sleeper hold, and Gunther actually tapped out to end the match, ending his 870-day long United Kingdom title reign. Watch this match if you want just one of the reasons why Gunther has, for one, been a champion for 80% of his WWE career, and why, two, he has only been beaten 5 times since he debuted in this company 6 years ago. At number 7, I have Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania 39 Night 1. In case you couldn't tell by the last names, this is the second ever father versus son match in WrestleMania history. Clash at the Castle 2022 is probably going to go down as WWE's most influential PLE of all time, or at the very least of the Triple H era. One of those reasons being Dominic Mysterio's legendary heel turn against Edge and his own father. The feud leading into this match was so much fun, aligning with the Judgment Day, crashing Rey Mysterio's Thanksgiving and Christmas parties at his own house, getting arrested, and all that led to one of the most fun, yet also kind of tragic WrestleMania matches, because let's be honest, tens of thousands of people in SoFi Stadium were literally cheering for domestic violence. At number 6, I have Bayley versus Io Sky for the WWE Women's Championship at WrestleMania 40 Night 2. In another match with an amazing story behind it, Io Sky and Bayley fought their hearts out in the penultimate match of WrestleMania 40 weekend. It really is a shame how Damage Control panned out, because they really could have been something if it weren't for their horrendous booking in the early days of their time as a faction. I'm talking, this entire faction was getting demolished on a week-to-week and PLE-to-PLE basis by Bianca Belair. I'm not sure in what universe that's supposed to get a faction over. But regardless, leading into this match, there was the classic dissension within the faction trope. And funny enough, on the same SmackDown that the whole We Want Cody fiasco was born, Bayley cut a promo against the rest of Damage Control and pretty much accused them of talking behind her back about her. This then led to Damage Control beating her down and Bayley challenging Io Sky to a match at WrestleMania. And man, to say this match was emotional is an understatement. You could really feel how much this title and how much this feud meant to the both of them. Io Sky brought her usual A-game athletics. Bayley brought her passion and her energy and her unmatched skill as a veteran to take down Io Sky and take her championship in one of the biggest emotional release matches I've ever seen at WrestleMania. At number 5, I have Gunther versus Damian Priest at SummerSlam for the World Heavyweight Championship. In easily one of my all-time favorite Gunther matches, this match is one of the perfect examples of hard-hitting wrestling mixed with storytelling. Earlier on in the night, Dominic Mysterio betrayed Rhea Ripley and sided with Liv Morgan, and in turn costing Rhea Ripley her championship. This led to kind of like an uneasy feeling within the Judgment Day for the rest of the night up until Damian Priest's match with Gunther. Gunther brought his usual punishing chops and his relentless offense. Priest just brought his wrath and his punishing ferocity, and in my opinion, he took Gunther to his absolute limit, besides Ilya Dragunov, of course. Towards the end of the match, Finn Balor ran towards the ring to rally in support for Damian Priest, and after Priest hit a South of Heaven and was just about to pin Gunther, Finn betrayed Damian and put Gunther's leg up on the rope and canceled the pinfall. Now, usually after this, the match would end swiftly after that, but it actually went on for a pretty good bit after that, with Damian pretty much trying to fight Gunther and Finn at the same time. But in the end, it wasn't enough, and Gunther hit a powerbomb followed by a sleeper hold to win the match and capture the World Heavyweight Championship. This is one of the matches that I really wish I could go back and watch for the first time, because this show will pretty much go down as the complete obliteration of the Judgment Day as we knew it. And after the show, Finn Balor formed pretty much a new Judgment Day, and the booking of that faction could be a video on its own. At number 4, I have the Fatal 4-Way match at NXT Heatwave between Ethan Page, Trick Williams, Shawn Spears, and Javon Evans for the NXT Championship. I had the privilege of attending this show and Money in the Bank the previous night, and the cherry on top of that whole weekend was this match. The in-ring chemistry between all 4 of these men was off the charts. Ethan Page being the slimy chicken heel, Shawn Spears being the kind of devilish, like stab you in the back kind of heel, and Javon Evans and Trick Williams being absolute charisma magnets, and besides that being fantastic in-ring competitors too. This match blows me away every single time I watch it, whether it be the spots, the high-flying offense, and the fact that all 4 competitors got their time to shine pretty much. The fluidity of the choreography, the spots were so much fun, and the whole match was so entertaining and caught your attention and held onto it the entire time. And the finish was fantastic, with Ethan Page pretty much being knocked out and falling on top of Javon Evans, pretty much winning the NXT Championship while unconscious. And also setting a new record for the quickest time for an NXT signee to win the NXT Championship, which was actually previously held by Kevin Owens. At number 3, I have Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles at Backlash France for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Funnily enough, this is kind of like the male version of Io Sky versus Bayley, that being just an absolute technical masterpiece between some of the best to ever do it, being Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. This match reminds me a lot of Chad Gable versus Sami Zayn at Clash at the Castle 2024, because my jaw was on the floor pretty much for the entire match. Every single move, every single lockup, every single attack was just executed with such precision and perfection. This match was honestly the perfect storm because it was Cody's first title defense after winning the championship, AJ Styles was as over as ever, and it was in front of the best crowd in WWE history. I mean, how can it get any better than that? At number 2, I have Obafemi versus Josh Briggs versus Dijak in a triple threat match for the NXT North American Championship at NXT Stand and Deliver 2024. I can't think of where I heard this, but in an interview with, I think, Obafemi, he made the claim that right before the match, Shawn Michaels told all 3 of them, simply put on the best match of your career. And if that's true, I absolutely believe it. Obafemi is 26 years old, and he managed to lift 2 almost 300-pound men on his shoulders. If that isn't enough to get you to watch this match, then I'll keep going. Josh Briggs and Dijak's freakish athleticism for their size against Obafemi's just brick wall of offense created the perfect storm of big meaty men slapping meat. And at number 1, I have my 2024 match of the year, that being CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in a Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood 2024. If you want to see the payoff to a year-long, deeply personal feud between 2 of the toughest men on the entire roster, then look no further than arguably the best Hell in a Cell match of all time between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Now, we knew that this match had no choice but to be good, but Jesus Christ. This match was around 40 minutes of blood-curdling brutality. And it was also literally blood-curdling because Drew McIntyre suffered a toolbox to the face at full force, and it looked like Drew dipped his head in red paint. This was the best possible way to end this feud, a feud so good that I actually made a 2-part video on it a few months ago, and will likely go down as the best Hell in a Cell match of all time.